Welcome everybody, my name is Mr. Llama, and today I'm bringing you a PvP that's going to be between RooToD, the red Protoss, spying down the bottom left hand corner, and he is going up against RooToD, the blue Protoss, who is going to be up in the top right hand corner. The map is Daybreak, and it is a ladder game between these two players. So RooToD, who could it be? It could be anybody, and I'm not sure if people saw that recent picture of the Korean Grandmaster ladder, but it was pretty funny because it was just a giant list of barcodes. It was from like 16 to 40 or something, and I think 3 of the names were not barcodes. So a lot of people out there want to protect their builds, want to protect their names, so people can't go ahead and track them and follow them and figure out who they are and stuff. So we'll see if Blizzard's going to address that issue, because it's something that a lot of people were suggesting. They were saying, you know, maybe we should have in the future where you can do like a hide who you are when you're laddering and stuff. And while that would be great for build orders and players like this who don't want that, at the same time it also doesn't help for people who are like known map hackers, right? So you have the people who like I said, are just known for using map hacks, things like that. And so whenever you play against them, you know, sure, it's not the best and stuff, but at least you can like know they're a map hacker, so you can know it gives you a slight advantage. Not really an advantage because they have the advantage of seeing everything, but at least you know they see everything, so you can just play them straight up, not go for anything tricky, and it's just like, you know, I'll just have to beat you with just better macro and everything, which can happen. I mean, I've seen a lot of players on stream and stuff do that. I think Cats recently did that to one player where he just absolutely destroyed the guy who was a map hacker, and it was very clear that the guy had been map hacking, but Cats didn't seem to care and didn't seem to phase him whatsoever. So both players are going to be opening up pretty standard at this point, getting their gateway, getting their cybernetics core. Neither player grabbing a zealot yet at this point, and Todd going to be the first one to deviate a little bit, as he does add down a second assimilator here, so a little bit earlier. We'll have to see what exactly he's going to do with that, if he's going to use it to possibly transition into Blink Stalker or something like that. Maybe just wants to get a faster robo. I mean, don't really know. We'll have to see what he decides. Second gateway is going down though for him, so it might just be a 3 stalker opener sort of thing. The only one guy on the gas over here and 2 over here, so interesting. Did our players see it? No. So RooToD is just hiding in the base, and that could be deadly right there if he could somehow get a pylon down. I think it would be spotted though by this gateway. The good thing though for him at least is if Todd doesn't know about this probe, that probe will have a free later scout. It looks like that might be the case here. Additionally, we just see second and third gateways going down, and it is going to be a 4-gate out of the RooToD Protoss. So he is going for that typical 4-gate. As you can see, he has 1 gas. He only has 2 pylons in the base. He has not been fully chrono boosting. There was a little bit of delay here. We could have chrono boosted his cybernetics core, but he has been trying to chrono boost a decent amount. And third pylon actually going down in the base. Interesting choice, because generally this third pylon is added, you know, somewhere over here, and Todd actually throwing down a pylon outside of his base, and he's opening up with a Stargate, it looks like. So curious. And is this pylon going to be able to finish here? There's only 1 stalker out right now to try and deal with this, and 3 pylons are actually going to be thrown down in the base here by this probe, so he's going to have to pull probe. Zealots are going to be warped in. There's going to be the second stalker additionally now to do some damage, but this pylon will be finishing. Are the gateways complete? No, they are not yet. They have to still warp in, it looks like, so they are warping in at this moment, but the pylons, will they finish? There's 1 pylon left. He's going to try and warp in a couple of zealots here at this moment, but they will get canceled. So unfortunately for our RooToD Protoss, he's not going to be able to do the damage that he wants to do right there, and instead just transitions instantly into a second gas and a robo. So if that plan doesn't work, I guess you immediately abandon a 4-gate, which is an interesting choice. But now we see Todd going to be grabbing another gate of his own, and additionally grabbing the Stargate yet again. So smart move actually by Todd, because he needed to have the resources to get units out right there immediately to deal with those pylons, so he canceled his Stargate, which I actually kind of agree with. And you know, he might have still been able to hold with that. And what the heck, now he's grabbing a robotics facility as well. So that right there is a little confusing, and he's going to try and do some warping shenanigans of his own, not going to work. So that's going to have to be canceled right there, and this is just an interesting back and forth game. I'm not quite sure what exactly either player is doing. The Robo was canceled for our red player Barcode Protoss, and now he throws down a Twilight Council. So it looks like instead he's moving into a Blink Stalker, and here Todd is going to have to be careful as he does not have the sufficient army to deal with all of the Stalkers here out of our Barcode. So I assumed that he wanted to get Blink. I figured maybe with the Robo he's going to use that for an Observer or something like that. But no, he's just going to do Chrono Boost absolutely nothing, apparently. So doesn't quite research Blink right here. A little bit of a mistake for our Barcode. And in the meantime, we see Stargate going to be opening up with that Phoenix. Still curious about this. So he's actually pumping out Immortals and Phoenix at the same exact time, adding on a 4th gateway as well. So both of these players playing extremely heavily off of one base right here. Now Twilight's going to be researched. But the problem is, will Barcode have enough really to do the damage he wants, considering there's going to be Immortals out on the field? So it looks like Todd right here was going to be countered. It looked like he was going to be soft countered at first with the Phoenix right there, which is just flying around, having a good time. So it looked like that was going to be soft countered by these Blink Stalkers, but then he added down a robotics facility. He started pumping out Immortals, and all of a sudden Todd's looking to be in a great position. As you can see, he's also way ahead on the workers, 30 to 23 right there. So the longer that this goes on, the more he's going to accumulate in resources, and he should be in a decent position, I feel like, to hold off this attack, though that is a lot of Blink Stalkers. And if they can get some vision and blink up and pick off that Immortal quickly, both of those Immortals, he could be in a fine position, but still scary. Todd now going to start pushing out. I don't think he saw those Stalkers right there, so the Stalker's actually going to wait until Todd leaves. He's going to try and take an expansion, and are they going to try and focus it down in a couple of shots? Does Todd even see this? No, he's just going to move right up into the base, going to start focusing down this robotics facility, and it looks like it will drop before the Immortal can be built right there. So that's definitely going to be a little bit of a loss for him, and he needs to be careful right here not to lose too many Stalkers here to these Immortals, which are now boxing him in. So it looks like he's going to be able to force field him as well, prevent him from blinking out, and just like that, Todd's going to be able to do a ton of damage. He does lose one Immortal right there, but these Blink Stalkers are in a terrible position, or they were for the longest time. Beautiful move by Todd to get the force field down, to keep all of these Stalkers in a position where they literally had nowhere to blink out. And that's one of the issues with Blink on this map, is that is where you can blink. That is all you get. So it's not Cloud Kingdom where you can run around the base and blink out the other side or anything. I mean, you're pretty much stuck on just those tiny patches. So if he blocks you in like we just saw right there, you aren't in the best of positions. And so now we see Barcode continuing on with his adventurous Blink Stalkers right here. Going to try and do a little more damage, just warping in more and more and more. But at the same time, we see the Robo has been rebuilt here by Todd, who's now going to try and yet again secure this expansion. He is continuing with his probe production. And it looks like we're going to see Barcode try and do some damage. Going to be able to pick off Free Stalker right there. Needs to be careful with those Blink Stalkers. He's going to blink forward. Going to be able to take out that Blink Stalker, or the Immortal right there, excuse me, but I'm not quite sure he's in the best of positions at this point. He's going to try and do as much damage as he can, but it looks like Todd is probably going to be able to hold at this point, as he still has a lot of Stalkers and Sentries and Zealots of his own, and Todd with Warpins is going to be able to do it. That's going to be it. Barcode leaves the game, and RooToD is going to take this one. So my name is MrLlama. I hope you guys enjoyed this cast, and I will see you guys next time.